Every new real estate agent I've ever coached has told me the exact same thing. They told me that when they got into the real estate sales business, that they had no idea what it meant to be in an outbound sales business. They all told me I had no idea what it was going to be like to go out there and generate clients, to actually generate my own business, my own leads. In fact, many of them thought that they would get into this business of real estate sales and somehow, some way, people would come to them. That they would sit in a real estate office and that, like a bank, people would come in, knock on the door and say, I'm looking to buy or sell a home today. Well, that's simply not the case, which makes this business so difficult. And so what we're going to spend time on in today's episode is I'm going to break down a simple client acquisition model so that any new real estate agent, whether you're brand new to this business, whether you're thinking about getting into this business, or you've been in this business for maybe a year or two, that after you look at this model, that you can't make the argument that you don't know what to do, all right? Because it's just too often that a real estate agent will reach out to me for coaching and say, you know what, I just don't understand what to do in order to generate new leads. I don't know how to get new clients. All right, fine. After this video, it is my goal that you no longer feel that way. Now, of course, I can't do the work for you. It'll be up to you to actually take action on what we're going to talk about today, but at least you will have the information. Hopefully you think that that is fair. Now, for the small percentage of you that actually want to take action on this and are interested in a coaching relationship, I'm going to put a link in the description. Feel free, you can reach out, schedule a day and time that works best for you, ask some questions, talk about whether or not it makes sense to get into a coaching relationship, and then you can decide if working together right now makes sense or not. For the rest of you, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. All right. So when we look at client acquisition, I like to look at this in 4 different categories. Number 1 is the people we know. Number 2 is the people we don't know. Number 3 is what we would call referral partners. I'll get into what that means in just a second. And then number 4 is some type of specific, unique niche to you. All right, so let's break this down. Most of the people that get into real estate sales, you might even be one of these people, really rely, or they think they're going to be able to rely on the people that they know in order to be successful. Now, some agents that get into the business have a very, very strong sphere of influence that responds in a massive way, and they're able to sell a bunch of homes early on. Some have sphere of influence that seem to never reach out to them, and there's many of us that are somewhere in the middle. Okay. The reality, however, is regardless of where you fall in that spectrum, the truth is, and the reality is, if you are being honest, most of the time, when you get business from the people that you know, it's because you got lucky. It's because you were in the right place at the right time and you got lucky. What I would like to do is propose maybe a different viewpoint for you to actually take proactive steps towards generating a consistent stream of business in this pillar, which most of you, again, if you were to be honest and say, okay, where do I want most of my business to come from? We would make the argument that, well, I'd much rather do business with people that are referred to me. I'd much rather do business with people that I know. I'd much rather do business with people that I know and the people that they know. And so if that were the option, most of us would not do anything else, but that's not the reality. Okay, let's talk about a simple framework that you can execute on, all right? So when we look at the people that you do know, the first thing we have to do is say, okay, I have to get these people, I have to win the top of mind awareness game. How can I do that? Well, most people will tell me, well, I don't have a ton of money to do this thing. Okay, fine. Do a daily story. So one of the things I talk about a lot with the agents that I coach is people, you, especially early on, okay, when you want to create this perception in the minds of the people that you know that not only are you, that you're in the business, but that you're actually doing business inside of the new business. Yes? Okay, so we're going to do some type of daily story documenting what it is that you're doing today. Maybe you're showing a property. Maybe you're at an open house. Maybe you're going on a listing appointment. Maybe you're writing an offer, et cetera, et cetera. Don't overthink this. Generate some short, either video story, a short, maybe it's a picture, maybe it's an image of something, maybe it's a small caption, but every day, 7 days a week, post some type of story on your Facebook or Instagram so people can see you on a consistent basis. That'd be number one. Number two is I would have some type of weekly show. And again, I would do that weekly. I would produce a piece of organic content. We're not talking about paid advertising. We're not talking about paid media. We're not talking about any of that. I'm trying to keep this as simple and as basic as possible. So producing a live Facebook stream or a live Instagram feed or stream and you can keep it really basic. Every week, you're just bringing to your local market exactly that. What is happening in the local housing market? To make it even easier, one of the things I have agents start off with is, what is the questions or what questions have you received lately from a buyer or a seller that you can talk about for 5, 6, 7 minutes in some type of live video that you can bring to your audience? So now you're staying top of mind. Now you are making content, positioning yourself as a market authority, which is the perception that you want people to have of you. And you can bring the questions that come up the most. That's the easiest way to create your weekly show. Put that on Facebook, put that on Instagram, and then the replay, you can put that on YouTube. All right? Really, really simple. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to send out that recording in a weekly email. Now, I did an Instagram poll over the weekend, and I said, how many people do you have on your email list? 85% of the people that voted in that poll had only a few hundred people on their email list. I'm not going to get too deep into building your list in this episode. However, I would just tell you it's got to be a bigger priority than I think most agents give it, okay? Once you have your show and that's all ready to go, then what you're going to want to do, so we've got our daily story, we've got our weekly show, we're going to repurpose that show, and we're going to send that show, a link to that recording, in your weekly email that you're going to send to everybody that's in your database. All right? Again, keeping it super, super simple. All right? Number 4, I would recognize the people that you know on their birthday. Most people don't. We're not talking about doing the automated happy birthday thing on Facebook. Now, what I would actually do here is I would call. I would send something in the mail. Now, you can do a $1 scratch-off lottery ticket. You can send, if you use a company like we use called Mailbox Power, you can send them some type of brownie, some type of cookie, some type of chocolate, some type of small gift, recognizing the person on their birthday. Okay. Most people, that's a lost art. Our grandparents used to do it. And now it seems like that's the only people that do it. And then number 5, to get business from this pillar on a consistent basis, is I'm going to make this even, most of the time I recommend doing an event 4 times a year. We're going to say 1 event per year here. And when I say event, don't dismiss it because you're like, event, dude, I'm just getting started. What are you talking about, event? Make this super simple, okay? You can do a barbecue. You could do bingo night. You could do poker night. You could do a lot of easy things in the beginning that don't cost a lot of money. You can have a couple people at your house and call it and brand it as a client appreciation event. But Brandon, none of these people are my clients yet. That's the point. You want people at that event to have the perception to say, wow, you know what? Bob's really growing his business. He's having a client appreciation event. We've never done business with him. But what are you doing? You're planting the seed for the future. The law of reciprocity, right? You're continuing to deepen these relationships. All right, so there's 5 simple things to start to generate opportunities with the people that you know. We talked about the daily story. We talked about the show. We talked about the weekly email. We talked about recognizing people on their birthday. We talked about doing one type of client event per year. Okay, now let's talk about how do I generate business from people that I don't know? Okay, this is where I think a lot of people get lost because there are so many voices. There's so many shiny objects out there to chase. I want to try to, again, make this as simple as possible in this video so that you can take action. You don't have to overthink this. You don't have to try to make everything perfect because we know perfection is simply procrastination in disguise. So people that you don't know. Okay, we have to first ask 2 questions. The first question is, do we have more money or do we have more time? Which one do we have more of right now? Vast majority, you might be the exception, but for the vast majority of agents that I talk to, have more time on their hand than they do money. Okay, if that is you, then the way in which you're going to generate opportunities from people that you don't know is going to be through unpaid channels. Okay, so what are we talking about specifically? We have to really, really master. Okay, I'll just bullet this. You're going to really have to master outbound prospecting. You're going to have to actually go out there and generate conversations. You're going to have to be the one who creates conversations. This entire episode, I'm making it because, like I said at the beginning, almost every new agent I talked to thought they were getting into a business where people would be reaching out to them to buy and sell real estate. And it's not until after they got into the business that they realize there's nobody calling me. There's no one that's going to save me. My broker isn't going to just hand out leads to me. I have to go out there and make this happen, or I'm not going to be in this business. And so you have to be the one to go out there and generate opportunities. So outbound prospect. Well, who are you going to contact? And how are you going to contact them? You can call, you can text, you can email, you can door knock, you can send them private messages on your social media platforms. Don't overthink it. Just do the work. Just do it. Okay, well, who you say? Well, again, let's just make this really simple. How about expired listings? How about for sale by owners? How about for rent by owners? How about absentee owners? How about downsizers? How about probates? How about just listed? How about just sold? How about you just circle prospect around a neighborhood or a farm area? The list goes on and on and on. You're having conversations with homeowners to drum up opportunities so you can go out there and get listings in the market in which you serve. Okay? Outbound prospecting. The other thing, if you don't have a lot of money, but you have time, open houses. Open houses. Well, Brandon, open houses don't work. No, you don't know how to make them work. I coach many real estate agents that their main source of new business, and they're making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 per year, is from open houses. So just because you can't make them work yet, growth mindset says, I just don't know how to make open houses work yet. So when it comes to generating business from people that we don't know, again, don't get caught up in the weeds of all the details and everything's got to be perfect. Just take action. Pick up the phone and call an expired listing. Pick up the phone and call an absentee owner. Stop making excuses. Do the work. Open houses. Do them a lot. Don't do one a month and then say it doesn't work. You can't not be consistent and say the thing didn't work. Yeah? Okay. Let's talk about the third pillar. So we talked about pillar 1, people you know, people you don't know. Now let's talk about referral partners. So referral partners, again, keep this very simple. If you've been in this business for any length of time, you know that you are a major referral partner for adjacent industries like mortgage, like title, like home warranty, like home inspection. You see, these are industries that build their business off of real estate agents like yourself. That is how they generate their income, is by getting you to refer their clients to them. If you've been in this business for a day, you know that is true, because as soon as you get your license, it's like mortgage people just start blowing you up. Title people start blowing you up. Hey, can I take you golfing? Can I take you for a beer, etc. Well, you as a real estate agent have the same opportunity to generate referral partners with other professionals in adjacent industries from us. Like you say, like what? Well, like attorneys. You see, divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, estate planning attorneys, elder care attorneys. These are all professionals that build their practice with people and clients that have real estate that needs to be sold. And most of the time, these attorneys don't work with a high-level sales professional, such as yourself, that they trust enough to refer their clients to become an extension of the servicings that they offer. And you could become that. So that would be an example. Number 2, assisted living. We'll say assisted living sales managers. Just had a conversation over the weekend. And all this person does, and she's in one of these roles, she talks to prospects all day that want to move into one of these facilities that seem to be popping up on every corner. But her number one objection that she's getting from her prospects is, what do you think? Money. And where do you think the money comes from most of the time to pay for these stays? Oh, that's right. They're primary residents that need to be sold. And so that's another adjacent industry where you could start to build relationships with. And when these people get into a situation where they have a prospect that needs to sell their home in order to fund their stay at an assisted living, they have an opportunity to make a referral to you, as an example. And the list goes on and on and on. Insurance agents, another one. These agents are sitting on every corner of the State Farm, the Allstate, the AAA, et cetera, et cetera. These agents are sitting there writing homeowners insurance policies for people that are buying and selling real estate. CPAs, financial planners, right? These are all professional people, service providers such as yourself, that should be part of your client acquisition system to go out there, start generating these relationships to start getting some inbound referrals. Okay? So, attorneys, assisted living, insurance agents, CPAs, financial planners, and there's a whole laundry list of these type of people. I'm just giving you a couple to go off of right now. And then number 4, when we talk about a niche, okay. So maybe it's a blessing, maybe it's a curse, I don't know. But I will tell you that in most other industries, the business owner, the professional has a niche. And so if you look at, like we just talked about, attorneys, most attorneys have a specific niche. They're a divorce attorney. They're a probate attorney. They're an elder care attorney. They're an estate planning attorney, et cetera, et cetera. The same thing goes for a lot of different sales professions. Same thing goes for doctors. Well, real estate is one of the only professions that we see where when you ask a real estate agent, well, what type of client do you work with? Most agents respond with anyone and everyone. Anybody with a pulse looking to buy or sell a home, we automatically get that commission breath, that desperation comes out. Anybody, I'll go anywhere, anytime, anyone. Isn't that true? And so we need some type of niche. And as you build that up, as you have a niche, you can start to build, you can start to be more unique in the marketplace. Because you don't hear very many real estate agents that specialize in anything, do you? No, we're generalized practitioners. And so for those of you that really, really want to build a business that's market proof, it doesn't matter what interest rates do. It doesn't matter what home prices do. It doesn't matter what the economy does. It doesn't matter what happens in a political landscape. None of that matters when you have a specific niche. So let me give you an example. So we'll just talk about one that I've worked for a long time. The divorce niche. Okay, plays right into working with divorce attorneys, obviously. It doesn't matter what happens in the world, people get divorced. And what happens when people get divorced? They have to sell their home. And oftentimes they have to sell the marital asset, and the divorcing couple buys 2 additional homes. So they sell 1, they buy 2, that's 3 opportunities to serve your clients. Divorce is just one niche, okay? Number 2, I'll just give you a couple examples. Probate. Another niche that can help to market proof your business, that no matter what happens in the world, people die. And unfortunately, a lot of these people that die don't have an estate plan, which causes the people that they love to go through the probate process in order to sell those assets. And that will continue to happen forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? And these are all just different types of opportunities for you to serve, because a lot of agents in your market might not be experts in this niche. How about first responders? There's all types of mortgage programs that you can team up with the loan officer, and you can serve police officers, firefighters, etc. What about teachers? Another niche. There's all types of special programs out there for teachers. You can align with the local schools in your market and be a service provider for every single teacher in your market. These are, again, just examples. There's endless number of niches out there. My recommendation is that as you start to build your business, is that you specialize in one thing. And what I mean by one thing, of course, you're going to do business in all these other pillars. What I'm saying is that you have some type of unique niche that helps to market proof your business, that helps you to generate business that no one else can get in your market, in your local market. And so I would have all 4 of these pillars. And so now you start to look at this, it's like you've got a choice. You've got the information, and most of the time people are making the excuse where, well, I just don't know what to do. Even though there's more free information out there than ever before, like I'm giving you right now. And now all you have to do is do. You just have to take action. If you need help, certainly let me know.